The views expressed on the Very Okay podcast are for entertainment purposes only and not to be taken or quoted seriously. Subscribe to the Very Okay podcast or the Dark Lord will turn your guts into snakes.
I have it so many times where I'm like one kill away from like an attack chopper, and then I get shot in the back of the head by some 10-year-old who's like, "Oh, sorry, dude," and then I'm like, I will find you, you 10-year-old fuck. And he's like, "Oh no, my dad owns Microsoft. I'll ban you from PSN."
That used to be like a big thing. Like, my dad works at Microsoft.
I'll ban your ass.
You're screwed now.
We're tracking your IP right now.
So many people's dads had jobs at Microsoft.
It's ridiculous,
dude. I was playing with this 10-year-old kid the other day, just like in random.
In any other context, that sounds horribly wrong.
Yeah, I just do that. So he was like, "Are you high?" And like, that was the first thing he said to me. I was like, "No, man, I'm not high." And he was like, "Good. I've been running into a bunch of people faking being high all day." And I was like, "What the fuck? What kind of adventurous life does this kid lead that he's just like asking people that?" And they're like, "Yeah, bro, I'm so high." Like, they just start like pretending to be
feeding
Tally.
this kid false information of what it's like to
like
be a
Tally.
I'm really glad I don't get in game chat anymore, because I probably find myself in trouble a lot.
Oh no, dude!
Oh, dude, they got it. Like, it's so
today,
different now from like old school, like 360. Like,
everybody's
chat.
always in parties.
Like, I mean, nowadays, dude. Like, I was my roommate in Oregon had an Xbox One, and I created like a little account so I could play Gears 4.
Nice.
And my gamer tag was Meaty Pimp Stick, which is, should be fine. But like, it was like right after I prestiged in Horde and like was just like really getting good at the game. Somebody reported my name and said it was offensive, and like I had to change it. Like, I called Microsoft, and the dude was like, where I was like on the like little tech support online. He was like, "Personally, I think it's funny." But they reported it. He's like, "If you want to pay money, we can get it back, but until then, you just have to change your pro." I was like, "Oh, fuck you guys."
I have a really bad habit of paying to change my gamer tag like every couple months, like 4 times. Every time I think of something funny, I'll just make it that, and we'll laugh about it, and then I'll change it again.
I thought Meaty Pimp Stick was gold. I thought that was a great gamer tag.
On PSN, dude, they don't really care about that. So like, you'll get in lobbies, and like the guy that I was playing with last night, that my friend was like, "Oh, I'm gonna invite my friend. He's playing with someone though." And like, his friend's name was like Race Car or something. And then it's like, the guy that he was with was like Saggy Pimple Titties. And I was like, I had to like stop, and I was like, does it say that?
Mine,
It does.
my favorite one that I ever had was Dad's Gun is Toy. And
it took me a second to like wrap my head around.
That's a good one.
I had that for a while, never got banned, but I did get banned recently because I'm not lying. Like, I don't know why we were able to use this in our gamer tags, but I changed my gamer tag to Forced Uncle Dick.
Glorious.
Forced.
Oh.
Like unwanted.
Ew.
Yeah, and it stuck for like a week. But the reason I got that idea is because I played with somebody. His name was like something Slick Dick or whatever. I was like, "Oh, you're allowed to have that. I guess you can have what I'm about to do."
Dude, I remember on 360 back in the day when we were all playing. Our gamer tags was like 15 crackheads. Like,
oh yeah,
Jesus like, with a gun
killed this person.
Yeah, so like when Halo, when you were like, you got beat down by Jesus with a gun, or like God's pimp hand. That was another one. Or a beef Twinkie. That was mine for a while.
I think I remember that.
Like, you got beat down by a beef Twinkie.
And what sucks about like community standards, so to speak, from like now. Like,
it's like, whose community is writing these standards?
Like, now it's like you say like fuck off, and you could get like reported on Xbox. I know that they'll like freeze your account, so like everything that you've downloaded or made or like downloaded or purchased can get locked with that account if you say something bad enough.
See,
but like back in the day,
I'm not cool with that. Oh, back in the day, dude.
Back in the day,
race wars on there.
You would like beat somebody in Halo, and you would get a message that was like, "I hope your mom gets raped to death by a dog," and then like that was it. Like, nobody reported. We were just like,
oh.
that's how you knew you were good back then. Cause
Yeah,
like
you took it as a sign of like, it was like a term of endearment if you got one of those messages. That means like you upset somebody so bad that they stopped playing the game to sit there and type out on those stupid ass Xbox controllers.
No, when you...
It took like 10 minutes for them to send that message. They were that irate.
When you got that little keyboard that plugged into the bottom,
you were hot shit.
that changed the game.
That was.
For me, at least. God, when I would just like...
That was so fancy.
I would just be bored typing like all this awful things to like, and I'd send it to all my recent players. They made that way too easy back then. And on that note, nobody should have gave me an Xbox 360 Vision camera.
I feel like the 360 like just chats were the birth of like that kind of troll kind of culture that just, or like shit posters. You know, they just went from Xbox Live to social media.
Yeah, definitely. Cause like
I don't know why we all left MySpace.
I don't know.
Because
Tom treated us so
like,
well.
Oh, like
he sold it.
I never. Well, to
I mean,
Justin Timberlake.
it's like completely different now. If you go to the MySpace like now, like because I went to my profile like a few weeks ago just to see.
Mine's
and
gone.
The entire website's completely fucking changed.
Mine's gone.
Well, you still get like a profile song, so that's what I really care about.
What I'm gonna say it.
We were like flirting with coding and shit doing that stuff.
What ruined MySpace was the playlists.
Absolutely not. That's what made it.
No,
dude,
you had
so
one
many, like,
song, and then like when it became a playlist, like we talked about this before, I was like, you really think I'm gonna spend 3 hours on your profile scrolling through all these songs? I want to hear the song that defines you right now. You better have a cool layout.
I was always making it something weird, like
I always made my shit matching. I was like OCD with it. I would put like "I'm Blue" as my profile song, and then my entire profile would be blue, like blue lasers and
it
like
was
blue
cool
names falling down. And
you
shit.
could like you could change like everything about it. Like you could change like how the hyperlinks looked and like how the background was, the cursor for the
we were
mouse
essentially
itself.
creating our own websites, and we didn't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
I
I'm
wish I
sure-
would have stuck with it because at the time I knew what I was. Now I'm completely like technologically illiterate.
Well, now creating websites,
How do I copy and paste?
you don't even need
Dude,
code
really.
to create websites anymore.
Well, dude, I wouldn't even know where to start. Like, dude, like I said, it's been so long since I've had like a laptop. Like, I barely know how to work my fucking Galaxy.
Joe Rogan makes it
It's-
sound easy on those ads.
Oh, just GoDaddy.com.
Drag and drop. Go to Wix,
drag and drop.
Wix.com or no Zip. What's it called?
I thought he was
No.
Squarespace.
Squarespace.
Squarespace, yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking about doing that for our website, but I don't know if we need one right now. I set up something.
It would be cool to do.
I don't know how much it cost either.
Wait, what episode podcast is this?
The one that we talked about, MySpace.
22?
22?
Oh, this is 22. Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, we're legally allowed to drink. Okay,
Yeah.
heard.
Episode 22 of the Very Okay Podcast, and we got a new logo.
Fresh as fuck.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. As long as you know what it is. It's 3 mics, not a crown. But it can be a crown.
It
but
could be a crown because they're the best.
And it looks
okay
like-
podcast.
looks like a minion.
Most okay.
It looks like a minion also.
It could be whatever you want it to be. It's like modern art. You can interpret it to whatever you want it to be.
I really think that is art.
It really.
It looks like a tombstone / minion with like Krusty the Clown hair that's all sticking up.
I'm gonna have to put one of those stickers on my luggage so nobody else will take it.
Ew, I don't want that. Or maybe they'll grab it and be like, oh, I know that.
All the Very Okay podcast fans.
No.
Like,
Wait, are
Costa
you?
Rica.
Where's your connection flight?
I'm going from Louisville to Houston and then from Houston to Costa.
Oh, that's pretty close to Oklahoma,
Fucking Oklahoma.
I think.
Oklahoma, you piece of shit, bitch.
So, I forgot.
It is.
We haven't introduced you.
Oh snap! Yeah, we have not.
This is Garrett.
Oh, 15 minutes. It's not.
No, it's fine.
We've done
Yeah,
worse.
that's fine.
And I might not even use whatever.
Dylan Rudd has said worse things to better people.
This is Garrett, our friend from a life.
Yep. That's yeah.
That's such a good.
That's exactly it.
He's a exist.
Yeah,
He exists.
I've been around for a while, just kind of in the background
So
of everybody's lives.
So give us a little bit of rundown about you.
Well, let's see. Oh damn, it's so hard to talk about myself.
Who am I?
Yeah, who am I? That's such a deep philosophical question. No, but
Ooh. are you?
World may never know. No, pretty much. I'm just kind of this vagabond, tumbleweed kind of guy. I got sent to a group home when I was like 15, 16. That was kind of the start of my tumbleweed journey. Turned 18. I was kind of just not really on my own. Like I was still in state's custody. But yeah, just kind of, just trying to make it work, kind of solo. Once I was 21, I got, kind of released out into the world. And I've just been kind of making it ever since, just going wherever the wind takes me. I've lived in Oregon, California, Costa Rica.
Nice.
Traveled just about everywhere. Florida, everywhere down south. Yeah.
Very
Just kind of
good.
going where the wind takes me.
I've still never been any more west than Texas in my life.
Oh,
You
dude.
should go. Like, go to NorCal, Southern Oregon. Actually, go to... As long as you stay away from major cities, all three
Yeah,
of those
like
places are
San
really good.
Francisco, like the Bay Area up
Yeah.
is where I would like, and even like, because like Oakland and San Francisco, like as long as you're not deep in downtown, it's not too bad.
If you're just there for a
Like-
couple of days. Like,
You know, 'cause
I wouldn't
like
go there for a week.
all like the national forest or like right around like the Sequoia and the Redwood National Forest.
Redwood
right,
National
right there.
Forest is gorgeous.
No, yeah, but I mean, dude, for the longest, just kind of growing up how I did, I'd never left the South, like until I moved out to Oregon when I was like 23 or 24. I'd never been west of the Mississippi River. I'd never been north of Cincinnati. The furthest away I'd been had probably been like Louisiana for a family reunion.
Yeah.
And eventually I got an opportunity from an old teacher. He said I'd probably enjoy the lifestyle out there a little more. So I just said, screw it, packed a duffel bag, bought a one-way ticket, sold you my car.
Yeah.
And just left.
Rest in peace, car. I don't know where it's at.
Dude, I miss that Lincoln so much.
Some
One of my
old
goals
person
is to track that down eventually and get it back.
Well, I know where you can find it, but I'll tell you later. I know somebody who might know. But
I'll
you won't
ship
need
that.
it anytime soon, so
No, yeah, that's when I come back after like 20 years and
you'll be like
try to
Papa
track
John,
it down.
tracing down your old car and buying it.
Oh yeah, that's the goal.
He like sold. He had some. I don't even know what car it was. I don't know shit.
It was an old Camaro.
Yeah, it was like a classic Camaro. He sold it to start the first Papa John's. Then like when he got rich, he went and found the person and bought it.
Nice.
Yeah, and now he says the N word.
And now he says the N word and gets drunk and.
Have you
What's
seen that?
great is like their apology, like the fucking
It was like a half, not even an apology.
It was like. If
Sorry you
come
heard me
into
say
the-
that.
If you come into the store and you're black, you get it. That's so racist. Like, you black, you want cheaper things? Come here, we'll sell it to you. Like, I don't know. It's so awkward. Like, just imagine being
Was that like a
an
pitch for their new commercial?
Is that really what they said?
They did that.
They should have said like at least like free. You know what I mean?
I mean, let's not go crazy.
No, I mean
He said it once.
They still have a business to run.
He
Okay.
said it once. If he had said it twice, free. Once, discount.
Yeah,
That's how it works.
it's science these days.
you got a business. God. But I don't know. Did you ever see that picture of him? Like, I guess he was at a basketball game and these kids wanted a picture with him and he was smashed.
Oh yeah, that was when U of L won the championship.
He was like holding himself up on these kids, like with his arm, like he was like they were carrying a dead body or something.
Oh, dude, I've seen him
We
like
could have
at
raised.
U of L campus, like drunk as shit. Because I used to work at Cardinal Town, which is like the new like dorms and stuff they built, like these state of the art dorms. Had a bunch of like restaurants on the bottom, and I worked in like a little burger joint there for a couple of years, and I got to see like all the basketball team and football team. But one night, Papa John came in there just staggering, drunk as shit. He ordered like 15 burgers for like him and his 4 friends.
Damn.
And it was just like
Let me get
just
about 15
sloppy,
bucks.
just sloppy eating, like just being super loud and obnoxious, and just yeah. I didn't.
I'm just saying, if I'm drunk and I'm Papa John and you tell me to calm down, I'm probably going to say something along the lines of, I'm Papa John. Like,
Right. No, I mean, he kind of like,
am
I mean,
Papa.
hell, dude. I mean, his name is like on the stadium and is on half of U of L's buildings. Like,
He's
he
like-
kind of does own the place. He walks around with that air.
I know.
Like, he's, hot shit and better than everybody.
Did you think that Papa John's is good pizza?
No.
I mean,
No.
I'm not
It's
gonna
like-
lie. It's not bad. Like, there's a couple of their pizzas. Like, they have like a spinach Alfredo pizza that I think is actually pretty good. But like,
That's hard to mess up, though.
yeah. But I mean, it's like, don't get me wrong. Like, Papa John's is not my first choice. I would
It's
much
like-
rather go to like a local pizzeria
Yeah.
or like hell, even at this point, like Domino's.
Domino's.
I can get more for my money at Domino's than I can at Papa John's.
You know what was so out of left field when Little Caesar started making that brick or that smokehouse, the one with like barbecue sauce and like smoked meat on it.
That was
I haven't
good.
seen that.
It was like $7, and it was like I wouldn't eat any other pizza place. I was just like, no, just shut up. We're going there.
Little Caesars is definitely like gets an honorable mention just because of like how many childhood days they have saved.
They have the best
Be
leftover
it like it's
pizza
like it's
for
like
some
you
reason.
have like 5 people, each have $1. You're like, fuck it, we can get a large pizza, bro. Like,
You remember the...
Crazy combo's like $8. So if you got 4 people, you each got $2.
you get some garlic bread in there, bro.
Crazy bread's so fucking good.
It is.
I could eat 12 of those.
I'm
right now.
quoted from a teenage party saying "Crazy bread saved my life,"
Really?
and that is true. It was that party that got busted. Remember, like Andy and Mayo and a couple others all got arrested. It was like Claypool's going away party when he was going into the military. We were all like in 7th or 8th grade.
Oh, that was like freshman year. Like
Yeah, it was
before,
like we were-
you and Steven went to Cropper.
Yeah. It was like 6 months before that. Like super crazy party. Just like 90% of the kids there were under 16. Everybody was drunk as shit and gets broken up by the cops. But long story short, I ended up making it to another buddy's house, and they ordered just like $50 worth of Little Caesars.
Damn.
And I'm just like laying down in the hallway, just harming this crazy bread.
I think that, yeah.
Crazy bread is powerful.
It is. It really did save my life that night. It stopped the spins.
Here's an honorable mention. Domino's gets to my house after I order with my order in less than like 20 minutes. It might be like really close to my house, but still, it's always on point.
I don't know. Maybe it's just because I live in a bigger city. That is not the case. Because I used to live like within walking distance of a Domino's. It was like down the hill from my complex. It was like complex.
See it, like,
Well,
No, I could see the sign.
the
From my
driver has
window.
to get high first.
Yeah.
You're expecting too much of him.
It would still take him like 30 minutes to get there.
He's got to go change his kid's diaper at the
Yeah.
house.
I seen this thing.
He leaves his kid there while he's working.
I seen
Yeah,
this,
it's fine.
I seen this thing today. It was like, bro, why you guys smoke weed? We just going to the 7-Eleven and right back. What's going on with you? Like, I think about that like now. If someone said it to me now, I was like, hey, I got to go to the gas station real quick. Do you want to ride with me? I'm just going there and back. And they were like, no, I need to smoke weed before I do that. I would be like, you going through something? Like, like when you're a kid, I guess it makes sense because that might be the only fucking time you leave the house. Maybe that week. Who knows?
Oh,
But,
I feel like it's like if you're smoking every single day, you obviously you're escaping. You have some type of problem. Which I mean, I'm kind of talking to myself at this point because I wouldn't call myself an everyday smoker, but it's mostly every day. And yeah,
I can't even smoke THC weed anymore. I just smoke CBD weed. That's all I smoke.
CBD weed.
Like, I don't know. I just like,
well, dude, I messed myself up on dabs. Like I got my tolerance just so ridiculously high. It's like I just smoke weed now for just like social gatherings, like just so I can have something to bring to the table. It's not like it's not getting me stoned, but it's like I can share, be like
Yeah.
a social smoker. But
just
yeah.
get all like
I think I'm gonna take a tea break when I go to Costa.
like, I don't know, THC, man. Like, I can't smoke normal weed anymore. Like CBD, all it does is like a small, I don't know. You just kind of chill out, and that's about it. Like THC for me, it's just. I get real weird on it. Like, I overthink everything. It's like Louis C.K. talking about how the wind hits his arm weird, and like how he looks down at the wind hitting his arm weird, and then he's like, everybody that I was smoking with realized that the wind hit my arm weird, and I was trying not to be weird. I was like, I gotta leave, but instead of saying I gotta leave, I just yelled goodbye to everybody who was standing in this parking lot.
Ran away.
Yeah.
I had a friend in high school. I won't say his name, but I just came to school one day and they told me the story. Like, they asked me, I think that, like, somebody was asking me if he was okay.
Was it Jeff Reynolds?
Yeah, let's just say it was Jeff Reynolds.
I had to figure. I had to feel it.
They said, like, they were at, like, the park at the creek or something smoking with this guy, and all of a sudden he just left. And so they asked me, like, what happened to him. So I asked him what happened, because I wasn't there. And he said he left them to go apply at Family Video.
It's the most random shit.
He was just like
out of left field. He's just like just smoking. He's like, oh, yeah, I really like movies. I should get a job at the movie store.
I like movies, but I don't like the movie theater. Like
he's like, I'm too socially awkward to be around that many
there
people.
should be something where you can watch movies at home. And then he was like,
I could do that.
Genius.
there's some
He gets a text message just like the Blockbuster by my house closed, and it might be a failing, like rental movies might be a failing business, and he's like, not on my watch. Like,
I will save this way of life.
Oh, dude, speaking of Blockbuster, the very last one in America was in Bend out in Oregon.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it still open?
It's still open. Like, you can go
Is
get
that
there and get your little
is that
Blockbuster
also the
card
first
and-
one?
I don't know if it was the first one, but it's definitely the
one.
last.
so
I don't know how that, like, any of the video stores are still open. Like, Family Video.
because you can go there and get movies that like you would otherwise have to download illegally, and a lot of people just don't want to do that shit.
A lot of people just don't have internet.
Yeah.
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 I don't
basically.
understand, like, renting games now, because you have to install it to play it now. So it's
No,
just
like back when that first came out, like GameFly, when it first came out, I was
But
like,
you
yeah, I
can-
could see that. You can, rent the game, play it for a week, see if you like it, then go out and spend your $60. But now it's like, yeah, you have to download the whole fucking thing.
But if you if you rent it for $5 and then download it,
no, you have to have the disc in it to play it if you install it.
I'm pretty sure that you have the option.
No, you can't just.
You have the option on PS4.
That's another reason why I haven't gotten back into gaming, dude. They made like the Xbox One and the PS4 like so unnecessarily like complicated, and they're like pushing so hard just to keep your money. Like when I heard
Updates.
like there wasn't going to be like that much like when it first came out, there's like hardly any multiplayer. There wasn't any split screen. Like everybody had to have their own unit, their own game, their own like everything.
subscription.
Like they like completely got rid of like the multiplayer aspect, which is like the only reason why
Like
I
the
played.
local multiplayer.
Yeah, like or like like all the campaign, like half the games don't even have campaigns anymore.
Yeah.
And if they
Yeah.
do, they're like half put together garbage. Like I don't know.
Red Dead Redemption 2 though, shout out to them because they made an awesome campaign.
Well,
Like-
yeah, it took them how many years? Like 6 or 7 years.
I don't care about that.
Well,
What I
dude,
care
at least they
about-
took their time. That's another problem too. Everybody's like rushing to get these games out,
and then
and
you have to
they
wait.
release them with like 1,000,001 bugs, and they're like half completed, and then you have to buy like the other
rest of the
50% of the game, like in DLC packs
You
and
know
shit.
that
It's like screw that, dude.
Fallout 76.
I'm not paying $60
like-
for a 50% game.
Fallout 76. Even if you don't like it and you try to like uninstall it, that you have to like it won't do that. It'll still be like 40 gigabytes on your
Why can't
on
you
your hard
delete
drive.
it?
I don't know. I was reading this post
They don't
about
want
it.
you to delete it.
Like
You're gonna play that game, and you're
Because
gonna
it's
like
a
it.
virus. You can't delete it.
I mean, basically, it's
Nice.
Do you remember the weird ass PS1 controllers without the joysticks?
Mm-hmm.
That made me want to like.
that's what I played like Crash Bandicoot and shit with.
That's so weird. Like if you ever see one now, it's just like you're not what you're meant to be.
No, it's like an evolved Super Nintendo controller.
Yeah, you can hold this one better. It's the same, but
I've always liked the feel of the Xbox controller over just because I feel like they're more like ergonomically designed and like they're bigger, they fit in your hand more comfortable, they're rounded.
they make.
See, I don't know. For a long time, I was used to the Xbox controller because of like.
Remember those old school, the original Xbox controllers were like that fucking big? You're
Yeah.
super fat motherfucker.
Oh yeah, and they had those like the white and the black button that were just over there.
Yeah, like in the corner just randomly.
Yeah, like 27 buttons on that thing. There's like 4 grenades on
On Halo.
They have like this. It's like it's like a PS4 controller, but it is like I don't know. I think it's called the Revolution. Revolution Pro controller. It looks like an Xbox controller.
Psst.
The joystick and the D-pad are just switched, and it's just like completely like the exact same as an Xbox controller.
Yeah, that looks.
I'll put a picture of it.
It's a revolution. We're becoming Microsoft.
We got a great idea that is like the same as
It's
something.
totally legit and original. I promise.
Nobody's ever done this before. Don't look into it.
Right. Just take our word.
I think it's so great that Soldier Boy got sued. I think it's
Did
so
he?
fucking funny. Yeah.
Is that like in the air now?
Why?
No, he got
is
sued.
it over the game thing that he made?
That he made that was just for like
That he
Nintendo
downloaded?
emulators and like fake recreations of like Nintendo games. Yeah, he got smacked with a lawsuit, and he said, "What the fuck Nintendo gonna do about it?" And then like 2 days later, they were like, "This."
I forgot to mention this. I saw a thing like a couple weeks ago that Xbox Live is coming to the Nintendo Switch.
I saw that too. It was like Halo and Gears and a bunch of other games are coming to the Switch, and I was lightweight disappointed. I was like, "Oh no, those are my Xbox games. You keep them on Xbox."
I don't know. I didn't hear about the games coming to the Switch, but I thought it was just like the online like server shit. Like, because the online for Nintendo has always been horrible. You have to like type in a friend code that's like 20 characters long, and it's just really hard for me to express my anger towards people that have shitty connections when I play Smash. So I feel like that's the perfect move, and it also just puts them ahead of PlayStation. By being like, oh, you don't want to join us? Then fuck it. We'll get Nintendo.
Oh, dude, I'm so far gone when it comes to just like new like gaming news or technology or just technology in general.
I am too. Like the games that I play are just weird. Like they're not like, oh, I'm excited for the new Call of Duty or this or that. Like
dude, the last
unless
game,
unless it's Skate 4 or Gears 5, don't tell me about it.
Like the last game that I played, like that I've been kind of playing, like spending a decent amount of time on, is Civ on the computer. Like Civ 5. Like I know they got Civ 6 out.
Revolution.
Yeah, it's like like Civ 5. You can get the DLC. I got like the DLC pack off Steam for like $10 with like everything on it. Or it's probably cheaper than that, but no, yeah, that's like the only game that I've been, because I can just kind of up and leave anytime, and it'll it's not like I'm gonna lose anything.
Yeah.
All I've been playing Apex, Black Ops 4, Red Dead Redemption 2. I started playing For Honor, and I also play Binding of Isaac a lot.
I've heard that Apex and that like Monster Hunter and a couple other games are really good, but
I really like Apex because it's like everything good from Fortnite and nothing bad. So like, I don't know, I hate building.
Why is every game a fucking drop game now though?
Battle Royale. I think,
like every new game I see, like started with like Titanfall, people dropping into the map.
Titanfall was the best.
And then then PUBG came out, and now it's every single shooting game has like a battle royale. And I just don't get it.
I think the same people that made Titanfall
I think
made
it's because
Apex.
people want to compete with like as many people as they can at a single time. I think that's what made them popular.
I mean, I can get that because like Social Slayer, in Halo, you can have
That's good.
Yeah, it's a little heavy. You'll be all right. Like Social Slayer and Halo, what was it, like 50 people on one map?
Really?
Like teams of 25 or something like that.
It's probably like 10.
No, dude, it was. I can't remember. Like I'm probably wrong, but I just remember the teams being gargantuan.
Probably at the time. I remember.
Yeah, but at the time, it was really big.
I remember like Battlefield 1. It was kind of crazy because you had like a whole fucking lot of people.
Yeah, you could get like 60 people.
You could get like 98 people.
Oh, I'm thinking of Battlefield Hardline. I think that's when I first started getting like a shit ton of people. That was a disappointing game too. The story was okay. But anyways,
Micah will message me from time to time and be like, "Oh, so you're just gonna go on with your life and pretend like San Andreas didn't exist?" I'm like, "No, it's not that, Micah." And he's like, "What is it then?"
It's CJ.
All you had to do was follow the train, CJ.
I'm glad that I never beat San Andreas until I was an adult. Cause as a kid,
I've never beat any Grand Theft Auto game. It was always just put in cheat codes and have fun for a couple hours and then get bored and leave.
As a kid, the cheat codes on San Andreas was the best out of any.
I would just like get to the gang wars part and then start gang wars everywhere, and then that's it. That's all I really cared about.
It was always so hard to play that because, like, unless you owned the game, anytime you rented it, somebody scratched the fuck out of it. And it would always, like, just freeze or something
I remember
when
those
you were
like
playing
DVD
it.
cleaners they used to have at like movie gallery. They would
The,
like
like,
shave
spinning.
a piece off and
Oh, yeah, you pay like $3 and
They put toothpaste on it, and it's like a foam thing that like spins really fast.
that works
And they're
sometimes.
like, "Look, yeah, it's clean."
Sometimes it works,
Get out.
sometimes it fucks your shit up, but
I had one.
that's
of
the
those.
only reason that any video store should even be open anymore is to do that, refurbish the discs.
dude, I remember when DVDs first came out, they were selling like DVD rewinders.
Everybody.
Do you remember that?
What?
Yeah. People were it was new technology. They didn't know how the fuck it worked. You know, you had to rewind your DVD like you did a VHS.
So
And motherfuckers were selling DVD
you
rewinders.
did you have to do that?
No, it was just a
Oh.
scam for dumb people who didn't know how technology worked. They just like
We need
it was
to-
like a CD. It was just like a CD player that like spun it in reverse. And they thought that it was rewinding the DVD. Like,
We need to find the person that made that and invite them to do the podcast.
it's like the dude who invented the pet rock. You're like geniuses.
I think it's so funny how like when DVDs came out, I don't know if it was like this for you all, but like everybody that was around me when DVDs first came out, they're like, they're never gonna catch on. You can't outdo a VHS tape. I was like, I don't know. I think they are.
I remember when Blu-ray came out. I thought that was never going to catch on because I was like, what
Yeah.
kind of? I thought that was just like the elitist, like douche copies
so
of HD
fucking
video.
expensive. Like, is
Yeah,
it
they
the
were
game?
like the cost of like a
$75.
like a Blu-ray video costs more than a new game. It was. Yeah, I mean, hell, dude, like
And now it's like DVD, Blu-ray, and digital copy.
I remember when the PS2 came out. The
$20.
PS2 like played DVDs, and it was cheaper than a DVD player.
Yeah.
Like,
DVD. I think VHS
I
players.
tried to tell that to my mom, but I feel like she thought that I was just trying to like swindle her to get me a PS2. But I was like, no, mom, I promise. Like, look, this is a regular DVD player. It's like $300.
It's crazy
This
now
PS2
because
is
like
$250.
like a 40-inch flat screen TV back in the day probably would have been like $1,200. Now they're like $250, if that.
Oh, dude,
Flat screen, dude. I remember when like I found out flat screens existed, and I was like, "What is this? Curse it! What kind of witch?"
the
brought this
future
on
is
this
now, old man. Like,
You should be afraid.
I had a shitty one and I was like, I'm balling right now.
I'm so much
It was
cooler
like
than
it
everybody
was like
else.
17 inches. I was like, yeah.
oh, dude, I remember when I got my first computer, it had like a flat screen monitor, and I thought I was hot shit. Like, I thought I was fucking 007 with some crazy, like,
Watch gathers.
yeah, like MI6 technology with
Do
this
you-
flat screen monitor.
Do you think like I don't know if this is just me, but was it a Dell?
No, it was
singer?
like an HP.
Well, I think that like I remember like they built a new school when I was in like 3rd grade, and we went to the computer lab, and like the smell of like Best Buy and shit. Do you think that smell of like new electronics is like formulated to like be appealing to you,
I don't know.
or is it just the way it just
It's
smells?
kind of like that new car smell. You know, like some people really love it. You
'Cause
know, it's-
Some people really hate it.
Every
Like,
time I
it's
walk
kinda-
into Best Buy, I'm like, God, that smells so good, and I don't even know why. Probably duster.
in a past life, you got really high on nitrous.
Yeah, a past life.
A past life, like when I was a teenager. Yeah, you know.
past life, last weekend, died and it was reborn on a nitrous trip.
I heard on that Joe Rogan thing, the one with Alex Jones.
Oh, which was glorious.
Alex Jones was talking about how he had dreams, and then like he would have reoccurring dreams, and then like they would
Yeah,
happen
for real.
later in his
Like,
life.
isn't that just deja vu? Like,
I don't know, because he like knew that it was a dream or something. Like he remembered it, and then he realized it as soon as it happened. Like maybe
was
us
it like lucid dreaming and then
maybe us having deja vu is like us failing to notice that. Like you're just like, oh, I have this weird feeling right now, but I don't remember my
Well,
dreams because
if you want to go down that road, I've always thought that, you know, like, we obviously we don't understand how our minds work, Like, have you ever been like asleep and you're in that like half sleep, half awake state, and you're like dreaming, and then like something blows up in your dream, but immediately, like as that something blows up, there's like a thunderclap outside or something.
Yeah.
It's like, how did your mind know that thunderclap was coming to dream the events that led up to that explosion, like making sense in correlation with that thunderclap?
There have been times where I'm like
it just like sometimes I just gotta sit back and I can't think about it.
I'm like dreaming and I hear a sound or something, and then like I wake up, and then it happens after I wake up. Like it wasn't happening before. I was like when I was sleeping. Like it'd be like my alarm or something. I would hear like a sound similar to it. Then I would wake up, and then I look down at my phone and my alarm goes off as I'm holding it.
Dude, I swear to God, that just happened to me this morning because since I'm leaving, I'm like signing the lease over on my car to somebody else, and like I was like half asleep at my mom's place at like 9:30 in the morning. I was like, yeah, that dude needs to call me so I can get this stuff figured out so we can get a date settled. Like I was like half sleeping, half thinking, like starting to wake up. And not as soon as I, that thought crossed my mind, my phone started ringing, and it was dude. Like call and be like, hey, this is my new number. Let's meet up tomorrow, yada yada. But yeah, and it was kind of like just one of those freaky ass just WTF moments.
We should like teach ourselves to be genuinely curious about like if somebody is gonna give us like $100, because that's what it usually seems like. It's not ever like, man, I wish that this would happen, and then it never happens. It's just like,
well, it's like
I need to do this, or I wish, or like maybe this will happen, and then something similar to it happens.
Well, it's like that whole like Jim Carrey was talking about it. Like if you think it'll happen. Like if you put that energy out there,
manifestation.
It'll like self-manifest. If you keep telling yourself you're gonna do this, eventually it's gonna happen because you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Like
you gotta tell yourself, not other people though.
Right, yeah, you can't just get on Facebook and tell everybody that you're going to lose weight. You got to look in the mirror and tell yourself you're tired of being a fat fuck.
I don't know if this is like a established quote or something, but there's somebody I had on Facebook. He's a rapper. His name's Gmo Ski. He was talking about like it was like a long time ago too. I don't even know how to remember it. He said like, I'm gonna butcher it, but he said something like, "Don't tell people your plans, just do it."
Right.
Like whenever you brag about like, oh yeah, this is what I got going on, this is what I'm gonna do, there's a part in your brain that makes you believe that you've accomplished something just because you're telling people what you want to do or what you're gonna do, and it just like slowly demotivates you to make you feel like, you've already done it.
Don't tell people about the progress, tell them about the results.
Yeah,
the
more you talk about it, the less you're gonna do it.
Exactly. Like, well, but then again, it's like it goes. That's like kind of like it goes both ways, because I've been telling people for the longest I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna go back to Costa Rica. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. And yeah, for the longest I was just kind of like talking out of my ass because I didn't have any like set plans or like goals, or I was just like, I know I'm gonna get there eventually, but
that's my life.
That's basically like, I mean, I don't know about all your affairs that you had to like handle in your life to get to that point, but it sounds like a simple plan.
Right.
It's not like I'm going to start a business and save $100,000 in 5 years. Like it's not like people talking about, yeah, I'm going to blow up next year.
I'm going to leave the country.
Yeah. People were like, I'm going to be a rapper and blow up next year. I'll have a top 10 single like that. Like, okay, show me. But like what you're talking about is just like, yeah, this is what I'm going to do because I've already told myself I wanted to do it. It's not like I'm going to move to Costa Rica and become the president.
No, it's like...
You could, though. Maybe.
It's just one of those things where...
And some people, like, are different than others. Like, if some person that I didn't think had much, like, drive told me something, and then somebody that I've known to have drive told me something, like, it's different, you know?
Oh, for the longest, like I said, it was always a pipe dream, because I never thought I'd be able to actually get out of the South just because I grew up so poor. But But honestly, like the best advice I can, because like last time I went down there, I had multiple people messaging me like, "Oh, how'd you do it? How'd you, because I don't have money by any means. It ain't like I went down there with like a trust fund or like like $5,000 in the bank. Like when I went down there the first time, I had like less than $1,000 in the bank. I had like maybe like $800, and I just said, screw it. I'm just gonna go.
What inspired you to do it?
Just realizing that I only have one life, and that the world is so huge, it's so much bigger than just Kentucky or just the South or just the United States. And I don't want to be one of those people who just like it's like a works like a 9 to 5 and
dies under
for 40 lights. for 40, 50 years, and then then I'm gonna have to like cross my fingers and pray that I have some Social Security by the time I'm 65.
Yeah,
it's like I don't want to live that life. Like I watched my mom struggle with that life, and she got fucked over. Like she was a shift manager for some factory here. I don't want to say the name, but she was making like over $20 an hour. Was loyal to the company for over 15 years, and like just one night they sold majority of their company to Japan, moved it. And she went from she lost her position, went from making like $25 an hour to like $11 an hour.
Damn.
Like overnight. So it's like, I'm not going to be one of those people who dedicates, a quarter of my life to a company just to get fucked over.
Yeah, don't let somebody decide your fate.
Exactly. That's kind of the same thing with me and like moving to Louisiana. What I did is man, like staying in the same spot your whole life is so... You're just disappointing yourself. You're just like
you're
selling yourself short. You're not giving your life what it needs to do. You're depriving yourself like journeys and adventures and experiences and new people that you can reach out to and have like relationships with. Otherwise, you're gonna get stuck in the same boring rut with the same.
And you're gonna be a lot more closed-minded. You're gonna be a lot more ignorant. Like it is, and I mean, like I'm still like I consider myself a conservative. But, I mean, like, traveling the world, you do see, it does open your eyes and your mind to completely different lifestyles, ways of thinking, different opinions. Like, it's...
Different things
It's a humbling experience. It really is. Like, if you go to a third world country and see how they live, and then come back here and hear people, like, bitching and moaning, saying we're a fascist state while they're on their iPhones and their laptops. Like, and they're $1,200 laptops, and they're sitting there tweeting from Starbucks how they're so oppressed. It just...
I saw this...
Oh, my God.
It was a meme I saw today. You might have seen it. It said a communist, a Marxist, and something walk into a bar.
He said, sorry, we don't serve 18-year-olds.
It was like, I guess, another country. A communist, a Marxist, and something else walk into a bar and ask for a drink. The bartender says, sorry, we don't serve you if you're under 18.
Yeah, it was like a socialist, a neo-Marxist, and like a communist.
That was pretty good, even though it doesn't apply to our country.
Well, it's like that it's like a super old quote. It's like, if you're not a liberal when you're 20, you have no heart, but if you're not a conservative when you're 40, you have no brain. Like, and I honestly think that's true. Is when you're young, you're just so pent up on emotion, and you feel like you feel like you can't die. You feel like you're invincible. You feel like you can change the world.
You feel like you
want to do shit.
You feel like you can go out in the streets and put bottle rockets in glass bottles and throw them at people bigger than you that will punch you in the face.
And then you just sound like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez with her pipe dreams, like, people are bad, it should stop being bad, and also
give me all your money.
Give me your money. I hate that people are poor. Can you give me money to like talk about how people are poor?
Well, dude, it's like, that's what I don't get. It's like, they're like, oh, if we just took all the money from the rich. It's like, you don't understand like how much money our government uses in a year. The problem is that our government's too big. Like, you could take 100% of the wealth from the top 10% of Americans, and that would fund the government for 8 months. And that's it. It's like and then like she brings out this Green Deal, which is like, bullshit. Like universal basic income and like rebuilding every single building in the United States.
Of, like, the cat laying on the piece of paper, and like the person traces it, and it's like the Communist Manifesto, and she traces it, and then She like holds
Green
it up
New
and
Deal.
it's like, yeah.
Isn't she in trouble right now?
Yeah, she's actually about to face like felony charges.
For what? I didn't hear about that.
Embezzling money.
I believe it. That's another be like people say like Bernie's for the people, but he has like 4 houses. He was on welfare till he was like 40, like living off the government, and now he's still living off the government as a senator. He hasn't passed one seat. Like, don't get me wrong, like 2016, like I was all for like Sanders and Trump just because the memes were fucking lit. Like, I thought they were hilarious, so I was just like posting
just not
Bernie
Hillary.
memes.
Please God, not her.
Exactly, it was like everybody but Hillary. I was posting all the Sanders memes, all the Trump memes, just because I thought they were funny. But like, at the end of the day, like Bernie Sanders, if you look into it, he in his umpteen years in Congress, he hasn't passed a single like bill that like helps the people. Like no bill has been passed that has his name on it, or like he hasn't introduced any legislation to actually help the people.
He just wants to complain when somebody's doing something wrong.
It looks like he brushed his hair with a balloon.
You know how Dylan made this post. It was fuck a certain person. Everybody had to like comment that.
Oh yeah, like tag some people and whatnot.
Yeah. Okay, so that
GR.
guy, he originally got mad at me because, like,
did y'all spell his name wrong on that on purpose?
No, that's his name.
I feel like he commented and like his Rogers last name had a D in it, but everybody else was
that's
saying,
his alt.
That's his alt.
Oh, okay, but his real name is that.
Yeah.
See episode 21 for more information.
Yeah, let's go back. So the reason he got mad at me,
heard.
he got mad at me because of he was like saying that Bernie Sanders isn't an idiot. I don't think he's an idiot. I don't think that he's like has shit like leaking out of his mouth. That he's like, I don't think he's learning.
He's an intelligent guy, but
he just like his soapbox is the wrong soapbox, and basically it's always like. All of these problems stem from millionaires. The only way that we can, or all of these problems are from millionaires existing. The only way that we can deal with this is by taxing the millionaires that do exist. Like, his problem is his solution, and he doesn't realize that, like, he's getting in the way of himself by saying this. And I said that to him, to the guy from the post. And he was like, that doesn't even make sense. That's stupid. I was like, I literally just explained him to you. He was like, stupid policies don't make a. No, he said bad policies don't mean they're a stupid person. And I was like, yes, it does. Like if you have a friend and every time that you're with that friend, they're like, hey, we should go put our hand in a mountain lion's asshole, and you're like, no, and then the next time they're like, we should light an orphanage on fire. And eventually, the stupid ideas that person has are going to make you look at the person like, you're stupid.
My favorite thing that he said
dumb,
in that argument was, he was like, I'm going to laugh whenever you see how smart Bernie really is when he beats Trump. And I was like, you think him being president makes him smart? And are you saying that Trump is not an idiot?
I'm not gonna lie. Like, I honestly don't see anybody beating Trump next year.
They're not.
Like Trump's gonna be an 8-year president. Like the Democrats are so divided amongst themselves. Like they're cannibalizing each other because it's like.
PC culture.
They're all trying to like
PC culture, just like victimizing.
It's
everybody.
like oh, dude, the value of victimization has risen so drastically,
dude. Okay, so I'm like I deleted all my friends. I'm re-adding them again. Out of the 1,700 friends that I have now, 1,200 of them voted on this poll. That was like, hey, do you or 1,200 people in general. I think only 600 of them or 500 of them were on my friends list, but like somebody else shared it. And out of that, it was like 89% were like, yes, I would vote for Trump in 2020. Mm-hmm. And then like I think it was 89 to 11%, and 11% was like no. And it just goes to show that like people who never talk about politics on Facebook, like just because you can see who voted, and it's like people who never say anything. are saying, yes, I would vote for that person.
It's that whole silent majority from the last election. It's true. It's like a lot of people are afraid to speak out in their support because of this whole PC culture. They don't want to get doxxed, get fired from their jobs just because they say they support Trump, because then they're automatically going to be labeled as a sexist or a racist.
The best thing that Trump ever did, in my personal opinion, outside of like normal
the North
policies,
Korea South Korea peace,
that was awesome. I was going to say outside of policies, outside of like actual politics.
Yeah, you mean that's something no other president has done in the past 70 years?
Him stepping forward and being like, that's fake news. And it seemed like such a minuscule thing at first, but now everybody's like unearthing all this shit. Like as soon as something's posted, somebody's like,
well, dude, and like a lot of people hate Trump because that's the way he talks, because he doesn't talk like a politician. He doesn't speak in that legalese. He doesn't speak in that conformative PC culture.
They try to call him stupid, but I'm like, if you listen to any other politicians, you're not going to know half the words they're saying.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like they're talking in roundabout answers, and they never actually answer your question. They just like, it's like an art, like that political diatribe, like that back and forth. Yeah, like those diversion tactics, the runarounds, the waffling on their answer. Like I just like it because even if he is wrong, he's still gonna say it. He'll say it and then accept the fact that he's wrong. He's not gonna beat around the bush or try to like sugarcoat what he says to appease certain groups. And it's like, some people don't like that. Some people say it's not befitting of the highest office. But honestly, in this day and age, I feel like we need that. Like, we honestly do. Because, I mean, like, nobody's going to listen, like, no offense to us, but, like, nobody's going to listen to just, like, your average Joe, like, on the internet or just, like, some guy on the street. Most people get their information from the mainstream media and from those higher ups.
Yeah,
and
everything just needs to be simple now. Like the big words and stuff.
Like I don't understand why we still can't vote off of our phones. Like we can bank, we can do everything else off of our phones, but somehow we can't vote.
Yeah, people have been saying that a lot too. Like there needs to be something like that, or like J. Cole said in a song something like, "Why can't I pick where my money goes, like with an app on my phone?" Like for my taxes.
If you're if you're gonna be taxed, umpteen percent, like 30% of your wages, you should at least have a say in where that money goes. Like if you don't want to be supporting the military-industrial complex, which is like where over 50 or 60% of our tax dollars go, so like you can choose to put your money in towards schools or towards infrastructure or towards border security or whatever you want.
Literally,
I was doing research here for a second because I like heard that. Like, everybody's always like, Trump's a fucking idiot. Trump's so fucking stupid. And I was like, I wonder what Trump's IQ actually is. So I just Googled it. I didn't do that thing where, like, I feel like people who say they did research, they, like, whatever the top quote is, they're like, that's absolutely
Can I just say real quick, don't use Google. Google, they edit their searches, and their results. They purposely... bury opposing viewpoints that don't fit that current Silicon Valley narrative.
It's all in, like...
I use DuckDuckGo, personally.
It's all in wording. Like, basically, like, if you...
Now, if you type in, like, white American inventors on Google, like, and it pops up, it's, like, nothing but, like, George Washington Carver and, like, Frederick Douglass and, like, a bunch of, like, just, like, African-American... it was like there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying it's like there's an obvious implicit bias in the Google system.
Yeah.
Or like type in like American inventors. I thought it's all just like. And at first I thought maybe it's because it was Black History Month, but then it's like no. I
thought you were gonna say don't use Google, use Bing. I hate whenever I call Microsoft support and they're like...
I just use Bing for porn. They have thumbnails on the side, like little clips that you can watch and shit. Bing's great.
I hate when I call Microsoft customer support and they're like, okay, go to Bing and search. I'm like, no, bitch, I'm not going to Bing. Bing should have died with the Zune.
I was about to say, like, why don't you just download that on your Zune?
I had a Zune and I had so much good music on it. Like,
I remember you had like a brown one that was like 180 gigs.
Yeah, it was like way beyond its time. Everybody else was like, "Oh, 16 gig."
It was like the size. It was like the size of an iPhone.
It was like this. It was like this size.
Zunes were cool, but like
I broke it.
They were just
so
like
sad, so I had to put it on shuffle. and then like 20,000 songs are on there, so I would never hear the same thing twice.
Zunes were like J. Cole. Like, they were really good, but for some reason it was popular to like talk shit about them.
149 was his IQ. That's what I got out of that.
So his IQ is the
What's
amount
the,
of years
what's
that Bernie
the-
Sanders has been alive.
Average is 100.
What's the like Mensa, like where you can get into Mensa? What's their like level? It was like above a 150 or 140, something like that.
Did you guys know that Hillary Clinton is like getting ready to run for president?
See, I've seen
No.
multiple conflicting articles. Like
Yeah.
I saw one from USA Today saying that she was about to run, and then another one from Russia Today saying
How
that
many
she
times
has
do we
no
have
plans.
to teach you this lesson, old man? Like,
Right.
Isn't this like the third time if this is gonna happen?
it's like the fourth time.
Yeah, because
She ran against
I'm pretty
Obama.
sure she ran against Obama. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if she ran against Bush or not.
She ran.
But she
lost
ran
to
against-
Gore.
I don't think she ran.
Right.
Ran
Didn't
I
against.
she
think
lose
so,
to
and then she
Gore?
lost against Obama twice,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
and then Trump, and
No,
then
that's what
if she
we
does
know.
this time,
Wait. Let's see. Let's.
but dude, have you seen those? Like, dude, I don't even think she's like fit to handle
Everybody
office anymore.
knows,
She's
yeah.
like having seizures and like collapsing, like getting thrown into a van like a side of beef. Like,
I saw that somebody like looped that video of her like shaking while she was standing up.
right, there was this one video I saw of her in like one of those debates with Trump, and she like hacked up what looked like a green egg.
Oh yeah.
It was
I see
just-
that.
you saw that? You remember that?
Yeah.
One? She's like she is.
She's a lizard.
Right, she's one of those lizard people.
Do you remember Martin Shkreli was like offering money to someone who brings him a lock of her hair?
That's just creepy. What is he going to do with a lock of Hillary Clinton's
No,
hair?
I mean,
we were wrong. It's
clone
been
her.
twice.
Twice.
What?
I could've sworn
she ran
she's
against
ran more
Obama.
than that.
Ran
She ran against Obama in 2008, but she didn't run against him twice. She didn't run against Gore. She ran against nobody. So 2008, 2016, those are the two times.
okay.
Yeah, if she's just in media that much, I guess I just assume she's been running for office because we never stop hearing about her.
All you have to do is, since she's been a politician so long, is to just like pull up clips of her saying contradictory things.
Well, dude, I remember when she was like a lawyer. One of her first cases in Arkansas
like
was
rape.
defending a
Yeah.
rapist, and like she was like insinuating that like the 13-year-old was like wanted it, was like dressing provocatively, like all this horrible shit. And, like, and then all these feminists are like, "I'm with her."
That's such a shitty thing.
Was
Like,
it the 80s?
well,
Yeah,
she
something
was
like
wearing a skirt, and it's her fault for being 13. She kind of deserved it. Everybody's like,
Madam President. Madam
I don't
President.
know.
Well, I mean, it's like, dude, it's all of it. Like, I don't want people watching this podcast to think we're all like vehemently conservative and like building the wall.
We
and
just
make
make
America great
we just
again.
make fun of the people who are easiest to make fun of.
Exactly. Like, it's like I consider myself libertarian. You can make fun of that in and of itself, but like
That's fucked up. So you like work where all the books is?
I, but it's like I'll make fun of both sides, but it's like the left makes themselves so much easier to make fun of. I end up making fun of the left a hell of a lot more, and then everybody
Yeah.
automatically assumes like I'm a Trump supporter and like I'm some
Dude,
uber conservative. Like I voted third party in the last like ever since I've been able to vote, I voted third party. I voted like Ron Paul, fucking Gary Johnson. I even voted
I voted Trump last time. And then before then, I voted.
Jill Stein, the leader of the Green Party. I even voted
Oh
for
my!
her
You
once.
voted for her.
Yeah, it was back with like 2008. Like,
Magic-
Wasn't it-
the
wasn't
no,
Magic
it was
Pro-
2000. It was the 2012 election. I was 16
In the last
2008.
election, wasn't she like she wanted a recount and then she ended up like getting like even less votes or something?
No, yeah, like she got like less than 1% and still wanted a
The
recount
Gary
or something.
Johnson thing was like
Gary Johnson got like 5%, which I was actually kind of happy about.
I was
the memes of him were like so funny. It would be like, well, how do you feel that you lost the election? And he's like, when was the election? When the fuck is that happening?
I saw this meme a long time ago. I saw it on my memories the other day. It was like when that recount hits and it showed like all the states like yellow and it showed Jeb Bush like laughing like a villain
Dude,
in
have
front
you
of
seen
the map.
Dude, Reddit with him for some reason. They love Jeb Bush. So like they kept making like mixtapes of Jeb Bush like for when he won. But it wasn't even like on an election year. It was like 2017, 2018. So it was like no election anytime soon. And like they would like put his face with like the background moving and then like his arms crossed, and it would be like, "It's my time. My name Jeb," and like they went.
I think my favorite
crazy
ones
with it.
were the whole Ted Cruz Zodiac Killer. Like Ted Cruz. Is
Ted
the Zodiac
Cruz?
Killer.
My favorite.
That was one of my favorite things.
My
Ted
favorite
Cruz.
Ted Cruz ever is like they take a picture of him like he's making this really weird face and he's
They
like,
show
when,
like Dracula.
when you're taking a creamy shit but you think about something funny, and like I think about that so like.
I know, there was another one where he was like doing like a rally or a speech or something, and somebody held up a picture of Kevin from The Office.
Oh yeah.
And like you see him make eye contact with the
He
photo
frowns.
and just like frown and get so sad. It was the funniest.
Kevin
fucking
is the
thing.
best character on The Office. I'm gonna say that right now.
I personally like Creed better. I think Creed's the best character.
He's the most like well written, but like the actor in the series, like I think Kevin, he's just like
Like, but what's
So
crazy about
lovable.
Creed is like that one, that's his actual name is Creed Bratton. And two, he actually played like in that, I can't remember the name of the band, but he actually did like open up for like Cream and like a bunch of other crazy bands in the 60s. And like in the 60s. And so like his character was like half truth, half written.
Wasn't
It
there
was
like parts of the show where he had like blood all over him and shit?
no,
The
there was one where it was like, it
Halloween
was a Halloween episode. He was like, I didn't realize today was Halloween. What a lucky coincidence. He's like, good for me. Like,
He's he's like
blood
drinking
splatter all over his
coffee
face.
and he's like covered in blood spots, and they're like, "Oh, it's a crazy Halloween costume." He goes, "Huh, it is Halloween, huh?" It's like,
Or he was like one of them was like
when he's
the last person to do bad to Creed Bratton. What was his name? Creed Bratton. like insinuating he stole this dude's identity and killed him.
the when he's trying to figure out who was smoking weed in the parking lot, and he hands him the thing. He
He's
goes,
like Northern Lights. That is an indica.
yeah, and he goes, "No, it's marijuana. Get out of here."
Do you think? Okay, this is gonna be heavy.
All right.
Absolutely.
Do you think that Ben Stiller would have been a better Michael Scott than Steve Carell?
Oh,
Wait, say what you just said.
Do you think that Ben Stiller would have been a better Michael Scott than Steve Carell?
I don't know, because I mean he was like a pretty good bad counselor in Heavyweights. You remember that movie back in the day with like super young Kenan Thompson and shit?
No.
It was about like a fat camp, and he was like the one of the instructors at the fat camp, and I thought it was a pretty funny movie. Like I can kind of see it, but
like he's really good at like acting serious but not being taken serious.
which I feel like is
I
what
think
Michael Scott is in
They
and
did
of
a perfect
itself.
job. I think casting Steve Carell. I don't think Ben Stiller would have been better. He's
Like I think Ben Stiller would have been good. Like instead of like Will Ferrell coming in to replace him.
Oh yeah.
Like I think like they should have had Ben Stiller come in and do like a little cameo spot. I feel like that would have been like an easier transition because I don't know. I feel like he would have
Paul
acted
Rudd.
a little more like Michael.
Paul
like
Rudd
Steve
would have been.
Carell.
Good.
Paul Rudd would have been too timid.
Well, I mean, just as like one of the mini replacements, he would have been
I
fine.
mean,
if it had been Paul Rudd as I don't know the guy.
he should have been Ryan.
Who's the guy that comes in from like the New Jersey office? That Andy. Like Paul Rudd as Andy would have been good.
Instead of
I don't know, he's not that-
Ed Helms.
Paul Rudd is not that awkward though. Like he's like
But he would have been perfect for that.
I mean,
'cause
he
he's
was
like,
in like I Love You, Man.
yeah,
he
he's
was
like
pretty
the
awkward in
perfect
that.
amount of awkward. When
Andy. What's the guy's name?
who?
Ed Helms.
Ed Helms. Like his face. Like that was a good casting for that part.
No, he has a
'cause
really
he's so-
punchable face.
Yeah, and his like that episode where his nipples started bleeding when he was running that-
Jogging,
yeah,
yeah.
like that. Like he was good for that. I don't think that anybody else should have done it. But when Will Ferrell filled in, I was like, I don't. How long was he in? Like one season or something?
Not even. He was in like maybe like 6 episodes, if that.
Who?
Will Ferrell.
Oh, Will
Because
Ferrell.
he ended up like leaving, and then they replaced him with a couple other people, and eventually like Andy got the job of boss, and
Yeah, he wasn't in there very long.
Was something going on with Steve Carell at that point, or were they?
I
Was
think
that like
he was
a
just
written
tired,
cover up?
I think he was just tired of being just as that series. I think he wanted to just do other shit.
Yeah. Cause like,
well, I don't know because you gotta think he's also like a pretty successful actor, so he might have had to like focus on something else. I'm not saying for sure.
I just can't think of any other shit.
guys,
he was in.
I really am like into this dinner for schmucks thing. I gotta have all my focus.
I gotta leave this super successful TV series for Dinner with Schmucks.
Well, I mean, he's been in a lot of stuff. I mean, he was in Knocked Up.
Have you seen pictures of him now? He looks like he could be like a James Bond.
I'll never see him.
He's like all like silver fox.
He cannot be a serious character.
Oh no, he could never
Ever.
be. But still, like he looks like if you hadn't seen his previous acting history, he looks like he could be like one of the next like serious silver fox actors.
Fucking
fucking like Idris Elba or fucking Harrison Ford or one of those.
What isn't there a new Harrison? No wait, the new Harrison Ford movie. No. What's his name? Clint Eastwood. The Mule.
Oh, The Mule. I was actually wanting to see that. Like a lot of these Clint Eastwood movies, like some reviews, like a lot of reviewers give it a bad rap just because it's hyper conservative and he's like super all about guns and all this other nonsense. But what was that one he was just in where he was like driving around this fucking, I can't remember the name of the movie. He's driving around like some nice ass car. He ends up like trying to protect this little kid.
I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it was a great fucking movie, but I like the reviews on it were mixed, but I thought it was fantastic. But no, The Mule seems pretty dope. Yeah, what are you doing? Is Facebook more important than this podcast right now?
They stole my meme.
Oh, Zesty Supreme?
Yeah.
Those fuckers.
My phone died.
They have 1.5 million likes.
I say if it's a USB-C, you could take my phone off and use that charger.
That's an iPhone.
Oh, because you're better than me. I forgot. I'm
Look,
sorry.
I just like iPhones because they're simple. I don't use my phone to download Nintendo 64 emulators and play like VR
I think that,
shit.
like for what they are, that iPhones are better, but for what they can be, that Androids are better.
Yeah,
If that makes sense.
Like
if you're going for something simplistic, yes, iPhones are better. I don't think their cameras are very good, but if you were just using
I just never got around to that operating system because I grew up on Windows my whole life. I've never used Mac for anything.
It's kind of like awkward at first, but like when you become acclimated to it, it's like super simple. It's easier to operate than Android, I think.
Really? I always seemed like it would be more complicated just because of my ignorance towards technology.
Android is way more
The
complicated.
transition away from it was less difficult than the transition back to Android. Yeah.
I had a Galaxy S5.
I might next purchase. I might have to switch over to the iPhone then.
It's just like
because I'm the same way. I hardly
you just
use
call,
my phone.
text, internet, apps.
Yeah, it's like I like watch YouTube on my phone more than anything else. It's like I don't need the 9 Plus.
I saw this one
that.
picture. It was like the next Samsung Galaxy will have like.
Oh yeah, the S10.
It was like 250 gigabytes of RAM, 1 terabyte memory, and I was like,
it's like powerful than like computers.
I have
like
a
few years
computer.
ago.
I don't need that. Like I don't think that's for like. No offense, I think that's for like people in like foreign countries who fucking just like only have a phone and just like they don't have the internet access in their home, so they just fucking download like video editing apps and like run businesses.
I mean,
off
dude,
of their
at this
phone.
point, you honestly really don't need a computer. Like, I mean, you can.
It's
Like
just-
if you have a Chromecast and like a Bluetooth keyboard, your phone is essentially a computer.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want. Like Chromecast it up to your TV, use your keyboard to type whatever, and your computer itself is the processor. Like you don't need. Your phone itself is the
When I lose my phone, I message people on Facebook on my computer and tell them to call my phone.
Smart.
So that's why I have a computer.
I always wanted to like I'm sure they already have it somewhere, but like I'm still wondering why they haven't made like some just type of like super thin like strip that you can put on anything important and like put the other strip on your wall, and if you lose it you can just press the strip on your wall and it'll connect to the strip on the whatever item and you can fucking find it. It'll make some like high ring beep or something.
They're not strips, they're like little like keychain sized things.
They're like fobs. Or not,
Because I've had
not
this
fobs,
idea
like,
for like
That's
years.
what they are.
like gym keys.
Ever since they
what
turned
the
from
fob-
ever since
that's a
TVs
fob.
went from like dials to remotes, I've constantly been losing the remote. I was like, we need to invent something like that.
They have, it's like an app you can download. I don't know what the things are. That they're like fobs.
I seen this
but
picture
I don't
on
know
Facebook where this motherfucker like taped his remotes to like a giant piece of styrofoam that was like this big because his kids kept losing his remote. That's pretty good.
Nice. So you just like turn the piece of
Yeah,
styrofoam over
it's
whatever
like this
remote
big.
you want to use.
You could just tape it to a gun.
Genius.
I have to be Dylan while
All
he's
right.
gone.
All right, so
I have to be Dylan while he's gone.
It's been good.
I would say we should have like a soundboard, like old like Opie and Anthony or something. We do like a crash, like car crash, or it's like somebody like jokes like bombs on a joke.
I wish that I had one. That's what I want to do next.
It should be your next investment is
Once
a nice
I-
little soundboard.
Once we earn enough money from shirts and merch.
and Patreon.
I was about to say, are you guys on Patreon?
Yeah, we
yet?
have Patreon.
We have one.
We have one patron,
Guy.
but it's a very appreciated patron. His name is Dalton.
Is it? Yeah.
When I get down to, I mean,
He's
I don't know if I
basically the
can
man for
donate
that.
money, but I can donate like fruit and veggies. I can mail
We could
that
sell
up.
those on the corner.
Right.
I live on a corner.
That's true. He does.
We can do it.
Look, I'm gonna give you a stack of business cards to take to Costa Rica, and you just walk up to the whitest person and give them one and tell them to donate.
Oh, dude, I totally will.
Like, you look like a rich retired old man that has a lot of money.
That's like 95% of the gringo population in Costa Rica is like old retirees. Like, not even necessarily old. They could be like in their like mid 40s and just be retired and not want to deal with anything, so they live in Costa Rica.
Speaking of old white people, I tweeted this week. I don't think I'm super funny, but this was kind of all right. I said, I don't care what color your skin is. If you buy lottery tickets, you're white trash.
Preach.
Fucking, like, have you been behind somebody at a gas station that
Oh,
buys lottery
dude,
tickets
don't
and
get
doesn't
me
smell like
started.
shit? They don't smell like shit.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go like the people who like buy lottery tickets and proceed to scratch them off like right there.
Oh my god.
While they're like at the register, and then they're like, "Oh, this one's a winner. Go ahead and
No,
fill
I'll be
this
like,
one out. Then let
you
me get
scratch
another
that-
one. Let me
Scratch that off
scratch
at the
that
back
out."
of the line. Fuck you. Like,
Oh,
I'm sitting
dude.
here trying to buy like a Red Bull and some like jalapeno cheddar crackers or something. Like something that would take me 3 seconds to pay for. But you're just sitting there being old, like don't have nothing to do.
There was one time where
Smell
I
like
was
shit,
just like,
bitch.
already had. I was already having like a really shitty day, and this motherfucker would not leave the register. He's doing his lottery shit, and all I had was like a Polar Pop. And I just threw the cashier, like, I just walked out, like, I threw him a $5 bill. I was like, keep the fucking change. I ain't got time for this shit. I'm just going to go.
That's why I need to carry cash. I never carry cash, but like every time that happens, I'm like, I wish I had a $20 bill so I could be like, here, I'm not fucking old and smell like shit. I don't drive a beat up maroon colored pickup truck with 2 doors.
Like, I'm not a detriment to society.
Like a Toyota Camry with a Froggy bumper sticker on it.
Froggy 101.
Yeah.
Like,
It's always that, dude.
I don't drive a fucking old Ford box truck that
I would
isn't nice.
I would just like to say, like, I understand, like, we really, I got to thank the older people for building the country up. Maybe not like our parents, but our parents' parents did some shit. Our parents kind of fucked us over a little bit because they were too busy, bitching and not creating jobs. But that's whatever.
I mean, if you want me to get on like some Alex Jones shit,
If I'm behind you and you are over 60 years old and you're doing 5 or more less than the speed limit. So if it's a 55, you're doing 50 or below. And I don't care what age you are, I will physically want to harm you for some reason because
it's not want, it's need.
like I just want to pepper spray them so bad.
That's
I
why
just want to like have a taser so I can like put that fucking red dot on them and go and just let it go. I don't even care. Like just
There's some points where I wish I had like a spy car just so I could fuck with people on the road like
Oil
that.
slick.
Drop
Get in
spikes
front
in
of them,
this.
yeah, oil slick, or like drop some like tacks,
James
flying their
Bond.
tires.
James Bond. I would like.
Why aren't they? Why isn't James Bond doing anything about this? Just letting people drive on.
There was this this website. I don't know if it still like sells these things, but it was
Was
called.
it Ogrish?
It was called TrueSwords.com. You could buy like swords from like video games, or, like medieval.
Oh, that place is a scam.
I mean, they're really shitty quality, but they sold this thing that was like a license plate like frame, but it would like flip. It could like flip your license plate. Into,
I
like,
saw that.
fake
So like, if
license
you're
plate.
like going across a toll bridge or something, you can flip your plate and they won't fucking notice you.
That'd be awesome.
Well, dude, have you ever seen that? Like I forget what they call it, as like chromatic paint or like electrochromatic paint or something like
It
that.
changes color.
Yeah, you like press a
app.
button and it changes the color of your entire car.
Every time I've seen that, it's been like in Japan or something.
No, dude, I saw it on like a fucking Jeep Wrangler here in the States on the video I saw.
Damn.
But it was pretty, like, even like the accents on the rims, like everything changed color.
That's
It's
crazy.
pretty dope. Like if you got that and the license flipper, you could like commit a bank robbery and just turn the corner, change your color, and change the license plate, and you're fucking free to go.
Oh yeah, and on that note, fuck Riverlink. Fuck you, Riverlink.
Oh yeah, fuck Riverlink, fuck those tolls. I would
I don't know
rather
what
take
that
the
is.
64 and do like Georgetown or Clarksville or whatever it is, and go over to Jeffersonville.
I would rather-
than pay that fine on that toll.
I would rather pay there when I'm crossing the bridge with my card or my like money. Like y'all
Instead of getting like a bill in the mail and
yeah,
like, all
and
that other
forgetting about it. Like they send you a bill in the mail like
Oh yeah,
th- 3
I'll
days.
Riverlink like $30 for all the Ubering I've done, like back and forth on the bridge, and just go fuck yourself.
Oh yeah, fuck them.
I know a guy who had like $1,200 that he just never paid for the fucking.
All that-
what
some
are you
of-
paying for? What is the point of fucking?
This
toll
bridge
bridges?
is paid for. Like how many people cross that bridge a day?
I
and it
pay
costs
taxes for that
$8.
shit. Like,
I was like, aren't my taxes supposed to go to infrastructure? Why am I still paying for infrastructure when I'm already getting taxed like over 30% on my fucking paycheck? Like, why am I still having to pay tolls and fees just to use roads that my tax dollars pay for?
And there's a thing like if you have the thing that's like an account where you like don't have to like call or like send a check.
Apparently, it's cheaper. Like instead of
They say-
$4, it's $2.
No, they say
or
it's
something.
cheaper, but if you're inactive, they will still charge you. That's what I saw online. Riverlink, you're a bunch of thieves and you should hurt yourself.
You should go commit not alive.
go commit not feeling so well.
The CEO of Riverlink probably like sits at home every day, drinks like a bottle of expensive wine, and just
his
like
own
cries
piss.
because his wife hates him for what he's become.
Yeah, he probably drinks his own pee.
His-
fucking
I
stupid.
bet he's like that dude on South Park who's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry."
His kid gets made fun of at
Like
school.
the Comcast. Like,
His
"Oh, I'm
kid gets
so
made fun of
sorry."
it.
Oh,
His
we're the only option.
private school because of you being such a piece of shit. You fucking toll bridge ass.
I hope your wife Karen fucking leaves you, takes half your money and the fucking kids, and
And
goes
half the
and
bridge.
fucks your brother on a bridge.
You gotta pay
That's
the troll
paid
toll.
for. A paid for bridge.
Take the
that-
non-toll bridge. You can go to your GPS settings and
I hope your
select-
alimony money gets funneled into some kind of bridge building pyramid scheme.
That's what we get caught up in a pyramid scheme.
Go to your settings on your Maps
the
app.
girls that like you went to high school with messaging you about pyramid schemes for bridges.
The ones that have 3 kids.
Look, I just built. Look, I get 5 people, and you get 5 people, and eventually we'll have a bridge.
Eventually, the person that told me to do it will have 5 people now, and then like the person who started it will be rich, and we won't.
I will say those pyramid schemes are a great cover if you're having any illegal activities that you need to like launder money for. Pyramid schemes are a great way to do it.
Really, you heard it here first, kids.
Yeah, like Juice Plus or what's some of those other motherfuckers?
Juice,
Like Juice Plus,
Yeah, I just thought about that
Avon,
Motor Club of America.
Mary Kay.
Aramark, or not Aramark, Amtrak.
Bro,
Amtrak's one.
One of the guys we went to school with, his mom sold like fucking like $400,000 in Mary Kay, and they gave her like a pink Escalade.
To use.
To have.
I mean, like, good on her for selling $400,000 worth of merchandise, but I mean, Jesus Christ, if you got that kind of like salesmanship, go in for yourself.
Here's this instead of money.
Don't do anything but that.
It's like, oh yeah, you sold $400,000 worth of stuff. Here's a $30,000 car with a $1,000 paint job. You're welcome.
Instead of money, here you go.
I would just go be like
at that point, just be a drug dealer. You have the salesmanship. Like, just make your own money.
You got the numbers.
Like, you don't even have to be drugs. Just sell like
got the numbers.
Other stuff.
Without cocaine in this town, you're going nowhere.
You're going nowhere, kid. You're going nowhere fast.
You want to learn about cocaine? Hang out with me for a day. Grab me that cigar, cutter. I know the ins, the outs, the ups, the downs. Everything about cocaine.
And give him a toot, boot, and scoot. You know. What
Ask your local.
Hold your nose open.
Ask your local Mary Kay representative where the drug game begins. But
wouldn't it be funny if you were like doing like
no.
No, it's not funny at all. Just stop talking.
Okay.
Sorry.
Doing what?
No, it's fine.
No, it's fine. It's cool. Don't worry.
Okay, Garrett.
Yes, sir.
We talked about your travels. We talked about you.
We didn't really. I introduced myself like 20 minutes in, and that's been the extent of it. We've just kind of been bullshitting.
Yeah, that's good too. But
no, I'm not complaining.
Let's talk about. Don't you like to like cook food?
Oh yeah,
is that a profession?
I'm a chef by profession. Currently, I work at the busiest restaurant in Louisville. I don't want to say a name, but if you can figure it out. If
I was there the other day.
Research.
I was there on Sunday.
Nice.
Would you rather eat a McChicken with 20 pieces of cheese and a cup of mustard on it, or a blueberry muffin covered in
I'm going to go ahead and already say the McChicken because I don't like sweetbread.
Ketchup and A1.
I don't like cakes. I don't like muffins. I don't like cupcakes. I don't like any sweetbread, really. Oh. So I'm going to go with that.
I fuck with pumpkin bread.
That diabetes McChicken.
Would you rather...
Don't ask me the unanswerable question. I watched episode 19. I don't know if I can feel.
Would you rather dress like Guy Fieri and hang out with Guy Fieri, so you both have spiky hair and flame shirts, all right? And you have to go around and you have to say "Good idea, boss," to like no matter what he says, or give Gordon Ramsay a cheeseburger from McDonald's and
tell him you made it.
Tell him that you made it.
All right,
at your own restaurant that you've put love and passion into.
All right, first of all, I don't understand why Guy Fieri gets all this hate. He is a beautiful soul. He is nothing but nice to everybody. He gives all these tiny little no-name businesses like international airtime.
It's just...
Well, I mean, like he's like the Nickelback of the food world. Like everybody fucking just like harps on him and clowns on him.
It's just his image. I was on a cruise.
Have you seen Guy Fieri without spiked hair and a flame t-shirt? It is the saddest fucking picture I have ever seen. Like, look him up without his flame hair, without his spiked hair and shit. He looks like the most sad middle-aged man.
I'm gonna say this:
like he has to have that, man. Let him live.
I was on a Carnival cruise like a year or two ago.
Aren't you fancy?
And
brag about it. Why don't you?
He had 2 restaurants on it. One was like a burger and fries place, which was good, open all day. And then the other one was like an exclusive one that was open only at for a few hours a day. It was
has a restaurant on 4th Street Live in Louisville.
Yeah.
I haven't tried it.
It was a barbecue one, one of the best meals I've ever had in my life.
I've had his salsa. He has like a salsa that he jars and sells.
It's pretty good.
It was hot garbage. Oh. I hate to say it. Like, Guy Fieri's a good person, but Jesus Christ, don't get his salsa. Go to one of his restaurants and try that. It might be better.
I would just like to say, when you're talking about Nickelback and the undeserved hate thing, I didn't know that, like, How You Remind Me is by Nickelback until the other day.
This is how you remind me.
Yeah.
Was that on Daredevil?
I don't know. But I actually...
It sounds about right.
I
right
love
in between
song.
A couple Evanescence songs.
Look, I really like that song. Like, I'm not going to listen to it, like, on in my everyday life. But like when it comes on, I don't change it. If that makes sense. Like I'm like, look at this song. I think I didn't know like. I have to say like, Nickelback going like triple platinum and all that shit, like that doesn't just happen.
Nickelback only went downhill after Rockstar.
I'm not gonna lie, like that song came out when I was like in high school, and like I actually kind of enjoyed it.
Yeah, but you could see
like I liked all the covers, like how they had like the ZZ Top dude and fucking like pretty much all the famous celebrities in the videos, and I thought it was alright.
I mean, just after that song is whenever like
after that song, I don't even know anything they put out after that.
I don't know either.
It's like that, like Rockstar, Photograph, You Remind Me, like. And like all their old shit, I know.
I saw them do a Metallica cover one time on YouTube, and it wasn't that bad.
They were actually pretty fucking good. Like Chad Kroeger actually kind of sounded like, what's his face?
What ruins people now?
James Hetfield.
What ruins people is their image.
I gotta take a piss real quick.
Okay.
Is that cool?
Yeah. Like their image, like the Nickelback guy's hair looks like ramen noodles, and Guy Fieri, he just looks like that guy from 4th grade.
They just don't want to like admit it. Like
people's images.
People just don't want to admit that they're acceptable, so they're like, no.
Let me find something wrong with you.
I hate you for something.
It's just I don't know. Like now, image is everything, and that's just basically it. You gotta have rainbow dreads and tattoos on your face if you want to be cool.
And you have to say Treyway in your songs. Treyway.
Name's Jeremy. Where's the high school? Fuck, my phone's dead.
Man, you want to go ahead and
kill somebody?
Kill somebody with a gun?
Yeah. We're gonna ask Garrett more stuff when he comes back, and then after that, we'll probably be done. I wish we could play music on our podcast. I don't understand why we can't. Because Joe Budden is allowed to do it. They play like 5 songs every time. We need to like look more into
it's because Joe Budden he's spooky.
He's very like
I think
stern with his
you know what I was thinking today? It's kind of weird.
Whoa.
I think that Little Dicky is evolved Andy Samberg.
So he's like
it's like final form.
Mega Evolution Blastoise.
I don't know.
Because on the last one I said that Michael Cera was Squirtle. It's the first evolution. Jesse Eisenberg was Wartortle, the second evolution of Squirtle. Then Andy Samberg was Blastoise, the third evolution. So Lil Dicky is Blastoise X or Y.
Sure.
Mega evolution of Blastoise.
That's fine.
Look, you gotta quit pretending not to know about Pokemon.
I don't fucking know.
Do you not know any Pokemon names?
I know Pikachu, Jigglypuff, Smash Bros. And not even most of the ones on Smash Bros. Smash Bros. 64, yes, I know the 3 that were there.
You know Mewtwo on Melee? You didn't play Melee? That was the best one.
Well, I didn't play.
Well, you should hurt yourself.
I will. To the thought of Pokemon.
Pokemon isn't something that you should enjoy regularly as a 20-something-year-old male, but like it should be common knowledge. You should have experienced it.
I never said like I hate it. I just don't want to put any effort into learning it.
Well, it's too late for you.
That's fine.
I'm just saying that you should have.
It doesn't bother me. It bothers you.
You should have. It does, because you should have experienced it, because now you'll miss out on references for your whole life.
I think it's fine.
I still think you can understand the references, because I didn't watch like any of the Star Wars until like after the Family Guy parodies that came out.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like I'd watched the Family Guy parodies before I'd watched the original Star Wars. But I still understood all the references just because they were so prevalent in pop culture.
Who else could say that in the world?
I don't know.
Probably a lot of people. People are kind of weird.
Star Wars was so big.
I mean, dude, like I didn't watch like any movies when I was like the only movie I really watched like all the time was like Jurassic Park, because I was like super into fucking dinosaurs and shit.
The most movie, like the highest amount of times I've seen a movie was probably like a tie between like Toy Story and Pulp Fiction.
Wait, movies that you watch the most?
Yeah.
Oh, that's probably, for me, it's either Friday or Don't Be a Menace to South Central. While drinking your juice in the hood. Goddamn right.
Haven't seen it. I just know the name.
Oh, dude,
Really?
that movie is hilarious. It was like one of the greatest parody movies before like all the scary movies.
What was it
before,
parody of?
Boys in the Hood.
Really?
I'm pretty.
Forrest
It was
Gump.
like that.
That's
and like,
what I've watched the most.
It was a parody of like that and like and some other fucking movie. Like
Menace to Society.
Menace to Society. And a couple of like they had like bits from all those movies like incorporated into that. Like
Cooley High.
yeah.
Cool.
Baby Boy was another one I always watched.
I remember.
I think it's so weird that they cast like Snoop Dogg as like a person who's supposed to be like scary.
A little string bean motherfucker.
I'm sure he was scary a long time ago.
When he was like on trial for murder.
He's not scary at all now. I mean, I'm sure he could beat me up, but
He
like
bakes brownies with Martha Stewart.
he
It's
wears,
kinda hard
like-
to be scary.
he wears like auntie like
See, like
head wraps.
like Snoop Dogg has just like went downhill, but like Ice Cube, I feel like it's the same amount of thug that he's always been. It's kind of weird.
No, Snoop Dogg has went downhill in a intimidating kind of way, but like his social media is like he has more followers than like a lot of people. Maybe not more than 50 Cent, but like him and 50 Cent and Snoop Dogg definitely like are running shit on Instagram.
I can't believe how
50
mean
Cent.
50 Cent is.
How what?
How mean he is. Like to Ja Rule.
No, there was that.
When he wrote that letter from Floyd Mayweather. You know what
Oh,
I'm
he was
talking
like, he's like, I'll donate like
No,
$50,000.
no,
to
the
charity
new
or
one.
something. I didn't know the new one.
I'll show.
I remember he was like clowning because he couldn't read.
There's this one woman.
He like read one page from Harry Potter.
There was this one woman, I forget her name. I don't know who she is or what she does, but there was like a picture of her with like male white excrement on her face. And he posted on Instagram, and she tried to file a lawsuit against him, and he like won the case, and she had to pay him $30,000 because he countersued. And like once a week he'll like post an Instagram picture of her and be like, "Where's my money, bitch?" Like this.
Dude, that's fucking hardcore.
All right, look. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I saw it.
Have you seen that?
I have not.
Read it.
Why we gotta boycott Goosey? Fuck T.I. He and it nobody. His career is oval. I know 50 Cent is gonna see this. Oh fuck. They're gonna see this and say, I did it right. This fuck him too. Sincerely, Fled money sign Maywater. That is.
Yeah, 50 Cent made that about like.
Will you send that to me so I can put it in the video?
I've heard people talk like that, like on multiple Tark stops.
It looks like a 4-year-old wrote it.
Oh, yeah.
That's why it's funny.
But like, oh dude,
Tark. I'm scared of Tark.
Tarks are so shitty.
It's a great place if you want to get like. If you wanna get threatened with a knife and see a homeless guy masturbate within 15 minutes, Tark, dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and if you want like a crackhead to offer you head for like no reason whatsoever, other than her just being fucking
The
fainted,
fact that you might tip her.
right? No, I swear to God, it was when I was living at U of L. I was on like 4th and Broadway, waiting for the 4th Street bus home, and there was this like just crackhead on this just like junky white chick. And she was just like walking around like saying, I'll suck any motherfucker's dick. I don't give a fuck. She's like, you want your dick sucked, motherfucker?
I saw this video on Twitter.
It's like, nah, I'm good.
Twitter
That
is
was fine.
Twitter is uncensored, by the way, so you can post whatever you want on there.
Shit. Tell that to Alex Jones.
I saw that. No, he's not allowed. I don't know. They let like porn stars post videos of them having sex and stuff, but they won't let Alex Jones like post videos of him talking.
Well, dude, that's
You know what's fucked up?
But
is
wait.
Alex Jones
Alright.
will say some real shit every now and then. Don't get me wrong. I don't think him yelling that people have goblin blood in their bodies is valid, but like some of the shit he says, is some real shit.
If you actually look into it, it's like, yeah, he talks like a fucking maniac. But if you look into like the core of what he's saying, it's true. Like the whole like we're turning the freaking frogs gay. Like, that's actually true. It's like there's I can't remember the company. Like if I had my phone on me, I'd do the research right now. But there's like some company where they're like releasing chemicals in the water and is turning male frogs into female frogs and like, you know, fucking with the populations and stuff. And it's like, if it's doing that to frogs, it can potentially be doing it to us. I mean, that's why we do animal testing. If it works on animals, it's potentially could work on humans.
Yeah.
So it's like, if that stuff's turning the frogs gay and doing all this other stuff, it's, you know, I can see where he's getting a little crazy.
He just needs to like be better at like articulating himself, his words, because
he gets on them rants. Dude.
Like,
it's glorious, but yeah, it's
like
hard
Kanye.
to take him serious.
Kanye, their brains move way faster than their mouth, so they sound crazy. But like, if you can pick apart what they're saying,
their mouth moves way faster than their brain, so they're not like explaining.
No, dude, I think it's the opposite, because that's why they're talking so fast, because they have so many points articulating and flashing through their brains, and they're trying to get it all out like into some type of congruent.
It's like the sentence. First half of the first thing, and the second half of the second thing, and the first half of the third thing, and then the second half of the fourth.
Like even Joe Rogan was like, "Wait, stop!" Like, I think that's why.
So there's interdimensional vampires.
I believe what they were saying. Like people are doing hallucinogenic drugs to like communicate with people in other dimensions, but I don't know about like the making deals and stuff. I'm like, I don't know how you can communicate when you're like that, unless it's like telepathic.
I mean, like Joe Rogan was right. Anybody who's had like a really deep psychedelic experience, whether it be on DMT or like a bunch of acid or shrooms, is like you do feel like you're, you know, making contact with some other entity, for lack of a better word.
I'm sure like if it's made by the government, then it is more like potent and like easier to like control, I guess. But
what's that shit that the government did when they gave all those people like LSD?
Pineapple Express.
That was weed.
Are you talking about the men who stare at goats?
No, that was like a real thing when they were giving all these people LSD to see like what it does.
If they could do like, if they could have like psychedelic or not psychedelic,
psychic abilities.
Psychic, yeah, just psychic abilities.
Here, you do it first.
Tell me what I'm thinking. Are you thinking about tacos? Dude, how'd you know?
I don't think anyone who does that is thinking about food. Like
MK Ultra.
MK Ultra.
Oh.
If you actually look into that, like it's like everybody's so quick to like. I feel like conspiracy theorist is like a derogatory term for critical thinker now. It's like if you like
because
think of anything like outside the box and outside the official narrative, you're automatically a conspiracy theorist. You're crazy. You're an extremist. And it's like they're purposely like, was it vilifying?
Yeah.
You know, people who like have critical thought.
Yeah,
I think that like people. Okay, I think what happens is that if someone even has a theory or a hypothesis, whatever, all right, if they have this, it is their opinion, basically them piecing stuff together, and then what makes them look bad is not them articulating that, it's the people who hear an opinion and think that it's their own opinion because of them hearing it, and they misrepresent the entire like point that this person was trying to get across, and then it basically like makes the whole like narrative look bad and stupid because of the like stupid people trying to spread the gospel, so to speak.
Right.
They're like,
just like parrots, pretty much. Like they don't they don't verify the information. They don't like turn it over in their heads. They just take what they're given and then parrot it back out.
It's like telephone. They like say it worse than they heard it.
It's almost like they're NPCs or something.
I would
Trey.
I thought we weren't doing names, bro.
He doesn't watch this, and even if he does, you don't even know who you are.
So you don't even know who you are to come complain about this?
I think the one thing that you should take away from this episode is that you should find who you are, or find what set of ideas that you believe and stand behind, instead of being copies or emulations of the people that you surround yourself with, or instead of having opinions that you read other people have, formulate your own. And if you can't articulate it, either take a moment to be able to articulate it, or maybe you're not well informed enough on the subject to even speak, and should probably just shut the fuck up because you're making other people look bad.
Do your research.
Mm-hmm. Just research, dude. Like,
no, it's like you may be thinking you're doing good, spouting off your, moral superiority, but in reality you're just doing worse. You're doing more harm for your movement than good because you're looking like an elitist douche. Yeah. You're not passing off any facts. You're just passing feelings. Same goes for right wing. It's like it's like that whole bench for facts don't care about your feelings. It's like, yeah, that's true, but at the same point, you also need to have some type of compassion. That's what makes us humans and not fucking robots.
Yeah.
It goes both fucking ways.
There's people
I get the whole facts don't care about your feelings thing, but I don't think that it's a really good soapbox to stand on when it comes to disrespecting people. You can't just go around and be a douche for the sake of being a douche. If you are saying honest things and people get their feelings hurt by that, it's completely different than just being hey, you're a piece of shit. Why are you offended by me saying that you're a piece of shit? It's not like I attacked you personally. I don't know.
Well, it's like the problem with status is, they like to, or not even just status, just those types in general, they like to throw around numbers and percentages, but at the same time they don't realize that those percentages can be misconstrued to fit whatever view based on what evidence or what facts are given in the first place, which is another problem. And just, dude, it's so hard to tell what's real and what's not because everybody's just manipulating the facts to fit their narrative, and they're mixing opinion with truth, and it's all the lines have been blurred, and it's just that's why I'm leaving. I'm so tired of this fucking country.
One of the funniest things I've ever said, you're talking about so the statistical fallacy is basically you have to allow a margin of error with any statistic to be plus or minus 2%.
Oh yeah, I thought it was 3%, but yeah,
I think it's 2%. But it basically, I seen someone on 4chan use that, the margin of error, to say that Australia can't exist because out of all the land that has been discovered, we have to allow a 2% margin of error, which the area in Australia is roughly 2% of all the land that's on Earth, so they can't prove
so
that
Australia's a myth.
Yeah. And it's really funny, and people were no, I've been there, and he's nope, no, you haven't.
I heard that Australia was populated because
English prisoners.
Yeah.
Yep.
People,
it's all convicts and criminals.
Look, I stand with Australia because if you hate English enough to be imprisoned by them, then you're one of us.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. We don't like
We have a whole market down there just hating.
We were
British
both
people.
the rebellious sons, but Australia reformed and went to military school and came back and just wanted to be make his dad proud.
We're the guy,
and
that
we're
lives
still
above the garage.
fuck you.
Fuck you,
We're
Dad.
We're gonna take this garage band as far as we can.
Shut up, Dad! You don't know, idiot.
Australia is
And Dad's put the butter knife down, son. You're gonna hurt yourself.
Australia is Texas of the UK.
That's a good joke.
They are.
It's they're Texas, but fuck the UK. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, actually, you need a license to say that, sir. Oi, mate, you got a license for that?
I want to import
You may think it's a joke,
clip of Dylan
but,
saying, "Do you have a meme license?"
You may think it's a joke, but people in the UK get killed all the time with butter knives.
They're actually talking about banning truck rentals because since they ban guns and all the other violent weapons,
Just
people are
ban the
using
whole-
trucks to run people over.
It's slowly becoming the movie V for Vendetta.
It really is. Or
Ban the whole country from itself.
There's this one crazy movie back in the day. I think it was called 1984. I didn't know that was going to be a fucking documentary. Back in the day, it was just like a crazy science fiction piece, but now it's like pseudo reality, and it's really fucking creepy.
I need to watch it.
I mean, they have this thing in 1984. Like, there's a book too. It's called Thought Crimes, like where even thinking or face crimes. That's another one. It brings up the whole like Covington Catholic kids. They have face crimes in 1984, where even like making the wrong facial expression during like a federal
I'm
speech
so happy that he's
or anything.
suing every one of those people. I'm so happy for that. He's
like in 1984, like that's a crime. Like if you're like smug while they're talking about something, you know, like if they're talking about like rebels like defeating an army, and you're like sitting there smiling about it, like you can go to jail for that. And it was like it's essentially the same thing with this Covington kid. Like he was just smiling while some dude was beating a drum in his face.
And how much is
like put in a real awkward situation, and you're like,
he's suing his family is suing the Washington Post for $250 million.
That's the same amount of money that Jeff Bezos bought the Washington Post for. He bought it for like $250 million, and then they're suing him for the exact same price. It's glorious.
I hope that he gets it, and then I hope he buys it, and then I hope he burns that fucking place to the ground. I hate them. They like.
You're not wrong.
Like, reporters and like media and like since 2016 has taken a giant step in the wrong direction. It used to be like there was just like that, you know, when you're
everything's an opinion piece now. There's nothing factual.
You know, when you were walking out of like you were in the cashier or in the like checkout line at Walmart, and there was that thing that was always like Bigfoot scene, UFO, and it always
like
had,
the Sun or like the National Enquirer or something.
They've all become that now. Instead of it's all this.
So like Bat Boy,
President Bush was caught making out with Bigfoot.
Yeah, it's like Donald Trump. I seen this thing where it was like
Donald Trump's sex scandal with a Russian mermaid. Like
I see this thing where they were asking Sarah Saunders like I don't remember what she is.
I'm not gonna lie, like dude, she has a horrible face.
Oh yeah, no.
Like they could not have picked a worse face.
She looks like
represent the White House.
She looks like she's on Tinder.
She looks like she's like constantly smelled a horrible fart.
The interviewer, or not the interviewer, one of the press people was like, "Can you prove that Donald Trump has never said the N-word?" And she was like, I don't.
Have you never said
I would
that?
have to have a recording from like
his entire life
until now. Every moment of it would have had to be recorded, and I would have to review all that to prove that he did not.
And then immediately afterwards, so you can't say that Donald Trump has never said the N-word. And then the next day, it's like Donald Trump says N-word, like I said N-word. Like
that is so crazy. Like, how can you like?
You just ask the reporter, "How do I know you haven't said it?"
Where's proof that you've never said the N-word? And then they're like,
she just accused me.
Just the fact that you can immediately turn their logic back on them, and then they immediately fail, just proves how little like base their like the value of their argument has. Like if you can like the whole like, I mean, perfect example is like the whole like men and women are equal, and then you see all these transgenders like going into like women's events and like dominating, and then it's like the whole like. Now, then you see the left eating itself in between, like, where it's like, oh, like, all-inclusive, transgender should be allowed and everything. And then you have, like, the old-school hardcore feminists that are like, no, that's still a man. This is for women power. You're still...
Like, wait.
I mean, it's like, dude, like a 40-year-old man just won, like, the international, like, women's cycling championship. And, like, the average age of all the other cyclers was, like, 23, 24. And this, like, 40-year-old, like, transgender won and, like, beat the record by, like, quite a few minutes. And it's, like, all these men are now breaking all the women records. Like, weightlifting.
Did you see the one with the New Zealand handball champion where she's like 6'4", 250 pounds, and everybody she's playing against is like 5'8", 5'9".
It's like me. It's like me fighting against a bunch of like middle school girls because I'm like 6'4", like 260, 270. Like
what?
Dude, it's unfair.
I said it before. Futurama did it first.
Yeah.
Oh, what, Blarball or whatever?
When Bender went to the
Bender
Olympics.
gets his like fem oil change.
Oh yeah, Gender Bender. Yeah.
Gender Bender.
I thought you were talking about when Leela plays what's that? Their version of baseball, and she's like the worst player ever, but she's the first female to do it, so they're all like rooting for her. And
what
shit.
he's talking about is the one where Calculon and Bender get married.
Yeah, he goes to the Olympics and like
and does all the women's events.
Yeah, because like all
he's
the
like
men
folding up coat hangers and shit.
Yeah,
everybody else is like bending like giant fucking T-beams, and he's just like coat hanger.
They're like
beautiful. But anyways, is there anything that you would like to leave us with?
Like an
any
inspirational
advice?
quote, comment, some type of advice.
Oh, in the famous words of Shia LaBeouf, just fucking do it. If you're wanting to do anything, you know, the only thing that's stopping you from doing it is yourself and the mental blocks you create from you know, actually just doing it. You know, you'll be like, oh, I want to leave the country, but first I have to do this. First I have to do that. First I have to save up this money. First I have to pay off these bills. First I have to, you know, get this in order. I have to take care of these people. No, you don't. You just have to fucking get up and go.
Yeah.
So you got one life to live.
You know,
at the end of the day, you have to look out for number one. I'm not saying don't take care of your family, don't look out for your friends, but you can't adequately do that unless you take care of yourself. Like, you can't be in a position to give unless you have something to give.
If you leave yourself with more excuses, like, that leaves you more time to do things, then more things will pop up in between that.
Exactly. And another thing I want to say, like, is just that all my opportunities to travel and to see the world haven't came from me, like, saving my money and, you know, like, doing it. It's all came from just being a good person, making friends, and being open. Like,
make more friends.
Exactly. Just be open, and like, I'm not saying be a yes man, but just be willing to go outside your comfort zone. You know, be willing to go hang out with somebody that you wouldn't normally hang out with. Instead of like going home and going, you know, sitting on Netflix like you do every night. Go out to the bar with those people you hardly know, you know, make some connections, see who they know. You know, start integrating circles, start getting to know people. Like when I went to Oregon, that was because I became friends with one of my old teachers at Cropper. When I went to Costa Rica, that was because I became friends with some people I worked with at Mellow Mushroom, which is like a local pizzeria. We were all making like $8 or $9 an hour. You know, it's like, and it was at the time it was a pipe dream. But you know, I just made a promise to them. I was like, well, if y'all ever do it, just let me know. I'll be the first one down there. I'll help you get established.
Damn.
And sure enough, they did it. And they called me and let me know. And I, you know, just took them up on it. I was like, all right, man of my word, I'm going to go down there. So really, yeah, just keep your options open. Don't be afraid to try new things. And just, you got one life to live. You know, don't, if you sit around and wait for the right time's never going to come. You just have to do it.
I was watching the Joe Rogan podcast, and Dr. Phil surprisingly had one of the best quotes ever. He said, "Someday ain't a day of the week."
No, yeah, I remember that. I was watching that one. Dr. Phil actually went pretty hard on that one.
I would actually like to say, like, one of the most motivational things I've ever heard was actually Dylan saying it in just like a rant about people not being able to like find themselves or do like whatever it is, and he was just like, it was just like a normal conversation, but Dylan said, like, the reason that motivational speeches all sound so fucking lame, this is his words, the reason motivational speeches all sound so fucking lame is because they're common sense. You are the only thing that's ever going to stop you from anything. Basically, motivational speeches are people there to tell you to be yourself.
Yes.
I can dig that, because I mean, like, if you look at like any of those like motivational speeches,
like, hey,
from
get
like
off your fucking couch, and the audience members are like,
It's like, that wasn't any secret information. That's stupid.
yeah, from like, if you like listen to like Tony Robbins or Jordan Peterson or like Sadhguru or like any of these other people who are like these inspirational folk, they're literally just telling you the stuff you already know. Clean your room.
Keep your sink clean.
Yeah, like keep yourself clean, keep yourself organized, get yourself on a schedule, be healthy, go to the gym, work out. It's like all the comments and stuff that you already know you should be doing.
It's just like I've already heard that before. I've already pushed it to the back of my brain.
If you eat better, you have more energy. If you exercise, you have more energy, and then you're gonna have more energy to get shit done.
One of my next steps is that
if you eat like shit, you're gonna feel like shit. You're gonna be sad all the time. You chicken nugget eating bitch.
I want to be one of those people that wakes up at 5 a.m. looking for shit to do.
Well, dude, and that's another reason why I'm going back to Costa Rica, because there I had that set routine. I had that set schedule. Because we're so close to the equator, it was like almost an exact 12 and 12, like 12 hours of light, 12 hours of night. And it was like from 6 to 6, like clockwork throughout the year. You wake up like 6, 7 in the morning, work hard all day, eat around 4. Like as soon as the sun sets, that's when all the bugs come out. So you come in, eat your dinner, take a shower, and then by the time the night falls, all the bugs have kind of went around. You can go lay down. But I mean, like just having that set schedule did wonders for me, because I'm working in food industry, and it's always split shifts, like clopenings.
Yeah, that sucks.
Working, from like 2 p.m. to like 2 a.m., just like horrible schedule. You can't really get regulated on it. And I mean, it's just like personally for me, it's a better life down there. Like doing like hard
it's
manual
simple.
Labor, like that's my zen, because I don't have to think.
Yeah.
When I'm on the line at this busy ass restaurant, I got like 30 tickets in front of me. Mentally, I'm stressing the fuck out because I'm having to do all these things in a short amount of time. If I'm digging a ditch, and I got all the time in the day, and all I gotta do is move some dirt from A to B, I don't have to think.
Yeah. And I can
just sit there and work and let my mind wander, and eventually I'm thinking about nothing, and I'm gonna autopilot. And then by the time I'm done, my mind is clear. I feel like a brand new person. Like even though I'm tired as shit, I feel rejuvenated.
Food tastes better after you physically work.
Oh, dude, like ice, like just cold water. Nothing has ever tasted better than just like cold water after working 12 hours in like an equatorial jungle.
We were talking about this the other day.
Greatest fucking thing.
About like cold water, like ice. I can't drink ice cold water. Like slightly below room temperature, like 50 degrees for me is like. But
you have to earn ice cold water for it to taste good.
Exactly.
Well, see,
you have to work. You have to work in the sun for a few hours, and then like when you can feel the coolness going down your esophagus and hitting your stomach, and you can feel the cold radiating throughout your body. Like it's almost as good as sex.
Like I can't just like
firefighter in Louisiana. So I was fucking with the hot shit. I was like in a hot state already. Just hugging fires, and like I still couldn't do it, dude. Like it's like room temperature water. Fucking
just eat ice.
No.
All right, guys.
Just real quick before we go, I do want to say I am going down to Costa Rica. If you're cool with me and we have a history, and you're tired of this 9-to-5 bullshit, by all means, you have an open spot down there in Costa Rica. Everybody, when they were teenagers, talked about communes, like everybody just living together and living off the land. Well, that's exactly what we're fucking doing. So if anybody gets tired of the 9-to-5, you get tired of the rat race, you're worried that they're not going to have any social security by the time you're 65, or the world, this country devolves into Civil War 2.0 or whatever, it's like y'all have an escape. Like that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this, because I can't provide financial security for my friends. I can't provide much of anything for my friends other than like moral support here. Down there, I can give something a little more to the people that I care about. I may be thousands of miles away, but if y'all need me, I'm there.
Yeah.
Like, so I mean, I know I probably sound like a conspiracy theorist or like super paranoid right now, but when shit does hit the fan, it's like if y'all need an escape route, you got it. You just got to pull your own weight.
Tunnel under the ocean.
I'll keep that in mind.
I mean, like by then, Trump's wall will probably been built, so you're gonna have to like
catapult,
jump the wall the other way. But we'll figure it out.
If Hillary Clinton wins the election, go to Costa Rica.
When Hillary Clinton wins the election, and everybody that ran against her dies mysteriously in a suicide shot.
They get
drive-by
shot twice
suicide.
in the back of the head.
I accidentally suicided myself in the back of the head with guns.
Twice.
Yeah, twice.
All right, guys. Thank you
Is
for
that
listening.
night?
Make sure you follow us, subscribe, do all that stuff. We do have a Patreon that we only have one patron to, but if we were to do more, if we
Then
have
we
more
could do
people
more.
helping.
Y'all
And
do more, we do more.
I'm currently editing all of the videos on Photoshop, but once we get like 1 or 2 more patrons, I think we can afford Adobe Premiere, and then that will just take the videos to the next level. So think about that.
Next gen.
Think about yourself before you don't donate money.
Yeah. Why don't you care about you?
All right, and also we have a contest on Facebook. No, it'll be over by the time I post this. Never mind.
Just kidding. He was lying.
I had